Welcome to mColor. In this video you will learn the basics of printing jobs with mColor. For information about installing the mColor software, please see the included documentation. This is the mColor client. You can use the mColor client on either a Mac or PC to manage, preview, and adjust the colors of jobs for the M-Series printer. On the left-hand side of the client, you'll see a list of workflows. A number of workflows are automatically installed with your system to get you up and running quickly, but you can modify these workflows and easily add your own. A workflow is simply a job preset. In this example, we have two different workflows for envelopes. One of them rotates the job to run in portrait mode, while the other one rotates the job to run in a landscape orientation. Workflows allow us to automatically apply a number of settings to a job, including color, rotation, scaling, and position. As I click on each workflow, you can see a diagram of that workflow, and below that, a list of jobs in that workflow along with their status information. Let's create a new workflow and process a job through it. To create a new workflow, choose the New Workflow item under the Workflows menu. Then enter a name for the workflow. It's helpful if the name reminds operators what the workflow does. For instance, let's create a workflow called Best Quality Gloss. When you push the OK button, you will be taken to the workflow editor. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see a list of workflow items. In a typical mColor workflow, you will need to add a rip and a rip output to the workflow. You can do that simply by dragging and dropping them from the left to the workflow diagram. On the tabs below, you can adjust the settings for each step in the workflow. Let's click the Rip tab and adjust the paper profile for glossy photo paper. We will also check the Pause After button so we can preview it before we print. You can see a pause icon has been added to the workflow diagram. If we wanted to, we could also adjust the rotation and scaling of the job on this tab. On the Output tab, we can adjust page range, copy count, and print quality. In this example, we'll select the best quality option. If we needed to move the job on the sheet, we could do so using the print offset controls in standard or metric measurements. When we're happy with our workflow, we click the wrench icon to save our settings, and the workflow is now ready to process jobs. Let's process a job through the workflow that we just created. We can get jobs into the system in a variety of different ways, but the easiest method is to simply drag and drop a file directly onto the client. A PDF file is the best way to get jobs into mColor, but it can also accept PostScript files, EPS files, and TIFF files. I'm going to locate a PDF file on my PC and drag and drop it onto the workflow. The file will be copied onto the mColor server, and mColor will start to process the file. In this workflow, the file will process in the rip and then pause so we can view it. The pause is an optional step. After the file rips, I can select the job and click on the magnifying glass icon. The file will open in our viewer. In the viewing tool, we can zoom in on the job and inspect it. By dragging and dropping a box on the navigator, we can zoom into a particular area. We can also rotate the view of the page. Rotating the view or making other changes in the viewing tool will not affect the final output of the job. When we're done viewing, we can close the viewing tool. To output the job to the M-Series printer, make sure that the right job is selected and click the green Continue button. The file will be sent to the printer. We've printed one copy of this job now, but our customer would like more. We can easily adjust the copy count and the page range by right-clicking on the job and selecting Output Options. Enter in a number of copies, such as 500, and push OK. The printer will now print 500 copies.